Ozan, it's so good to have you here. You're a postdoctoral instructor for the Center for Science, Society and Public Policy. Give me a sense of what got you excited in the CSSPP.
Thank you, Frederick. So I had recently completed my PhD in ethics and public affairs and had gotten a few years of experience as a policy analyst already at the Public Health Agency of Canada, working on topics in public health ethics, on scientific integrity. And so when I heard about the Center for Science, Society and Public Policy, I thought, wow, a very timely and ambitious initiative. And as we know today, to solve these complex social problems that we're all grappling with as policymakers, as academics, we need to work across disciplines and across professions. And that's exactly what the CSSPP was set out to do. So I was very excited to join and be a part of this whole experience.
So you've been here for maybe half a year or something, maybe 3/4 of a year already. Can you say a little bit about the sort of research that you're doing?
Yes, so I work at the intersection of bioethics and political philosophy, specifically focusing on genetic technologies. So I have two projects that I'm working on currently. The first one is on genetic discrimination, which refers to the differential treatment of persons based on their genetic test information, genetic characteristics. So since the Human Genome Project, there have been these worries that as genetic technologies advance, there might be more instances of genetic discrimination that may occur in society. Certainly these technologies such as genetic testing and gene editing are going to change the way society functions. So what I'm working on is thinking of ways of how we can prepare for this future using political philosophy and ethics to help policymakers, think through these things if we ever, get to such a future. And my second project focuses in on reproductive ethics because it's known that these technologies will also affect decision making when it comes to reproductive decisions. Many new things will be possible for parents. And so I'm working on a framework that's seeking to balance the values of inclusivity and equality with that of reproductive freedom. These are things that policymakers will have to deal with, and so I'm researching ethical ways that we may be able to help in the process.
And I gather last term you were teaching a course here at Caltech. Tell me about the course. What did you do? How did it go? What did you learn?
Wow, what a fantastic experience that was. So I taught bioethics to a group of brilliant students. And I approach bioethics in a broadest possible sense. So even touching on environmental issues. So we looked at topics in clinical ethics, such as the patient-doctor relationship. We looked at research ethics, what it means to be a responsible researcher, especially today. And I was amazed at the quality and the curiosity that these students had to engage with these ethical topics. They really saw how ethics can be useful to them. And that was my main goal. I wanted them I work towards, helping them become well-rounded researchers so that they can engage with these bioethical topics and, know how to engage with them.
And we've had a whole bunch of different events as part of the center. Are there any events that really stood out to you, or that sort of where you felt this is really what the type of thing that the center could be doing?
The first one is the Henrietta Lacks event. As we know, Henrietta's cells have been very important for the medical sciences, for biomedical research, but unfortunately it also came along with many ethical issues that are still relevant and very important to this day. And so in this event, we had a movie screening, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, followed by a discussion with the audience about the ethical issues. So I talked about privacy, autonomy, informed consent, discrimination. And it was really nice to see that the community was interested in this topic. They had very important, well thought out questions, and this is good for biomedical ethics because these discussions will move us in the right direction. So as an ethicist, that's always a good thing to see.
So the center is a little over a year old now. Where do you think it should be, or where should it go from here? What do you hope for the center in, say, 10 years, what it would look like then?
Yeah, so I think we have a very, very bright future. First of all, one of the first things I learned when I got to Caltech is we think big here, and so that's always motivating as a young researcher. But there are two things that I'm very excited about. The first one is our plans to start a bioethics policy lab. So we already have pieces of this coming together nicely, but we're thinking of having a systematic, really focused interdisciplinary research group with humanists, social scientists to explore the ethical and individual as well as societal dimensions of scientific advances. And the goal of this will be to generate policy proposals that again will be useful for policymakers. So to have that direct impact where we are all working together. And the second thing that I'm very excited about is the Ethics Bowl. So we're actually getting that started this upcoming semester. And the Ethics Bowl is this competition where undergraduates compete with each other about complex ethical cases. So as a team, we research, we study, we prepare our answers and then debate with the other universities and colleges. And so this is a perfect way for students to first of all, be involved in this exciting competitive atmosphere, and combined with this, educational skill development type of exercise. And as a center, we want our students to be involved too with these topics. So no better way to do it than starting an Ethics Bowl team.
Ozan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk now, and best of luck with your plans and all the research you're doing. Thank you.